Welcome, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Goodman, Director of Marketing and Development for the YMCA of Northwest Louisiana, and we're here at 318 Latino Studios for Shreveport-Bossier, my city, my community, my home. And I absolutely can't wait to have today's discussion. Our guests are Vernae and Lance Thompson.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
Thank y'all for coming here on a Sunday.
Hey.
I appreciate it. Well, we're gonna get all into your world today. And we're going to talk all about the Dream Big interactive initiative today, but let's start here if we could. And I'm going to start you in a little slightly difficult spot, but y'all are both performers, so I've got full confidence you can do this. So my first question is, pretend you're in a school and there's a child listening and you have a chance to encourage them. What would you say?
You are not an accident. Mm-hmm. You have so much purpose on your life that you don't truly recognize yet. But when I look into your eyes, I see the purpose, I see the goals, and I see the dreams that you have not yet grabbed onto. So I'm going to stand in front of you and tell you that you can, you will, and we're going to walk you through this.
All right, so talk to me about starting Dream Big. We have so many challenges in our community that it can be difficult to know where to start when you set out to address them.
Absolutely.
So my questions for you guys are, how did you decide this is what we're going to do and where we're going to do it?
Okay.
Well, it really started because we both are entertainers. We both, he loves music. I love the acting area. And so we just sat down and we just started talking, it'd be great if we had something like this, some sort of encouragement when we were kids. So wouldn't it be awesome if we had something to give back, some sort of community outreach? And so that's kind of how Dream Big started developing.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, I went to a school called South Highlands Elementary in Shreveport. And one of the biggest programs that really meant a lot to me was the DARE program. They brought in entertainers and they would tell us about being safe and what is safe and not doing drugs. And it kind of catapulted me into my adulthood to say, hey, I was told not to do these things as an adult, so I never really indulged in them to that full extent. So coming back, being a singer, being a songwriter, my wife being an actor and a director, I always wanted someone to come to me and say, hey, Lance, I see that you sing. Do you want to be a singer? Well, I believe that you can do it. Now, I had that in my household with my mother, and I had my music teacher, Miss Betty Atkins, who poured into me constantly. But it'd be really cool to see someone that was in that arena, that was really a musician, really an artist, really an actor, really a director, come to me and say, hey, I see that you really want to do that. That dream that you have, I believe you can do it. So let me give you these steps to get you on that fast track to success. So Dream Big came about, and we were like, let's get back to our community because I love Shreveport. I was born and raised here. My wife has been here long enough to say she is a Shreveportian. So we love our community, and we wanted to make sure that our kids knew that they could be anything they wanted to be.
And it makes such a difference. You're right. I mean, it makes such a difference hearing it from someone who's been in the trenches,
right,
who's doing or who has done that thing that you want to do.
Yeah. I agree.
It's completely different than just someone who has no idea of
right,
what you want to do, telling you, hey, I believe in you, you can do it. Well, yeah, that's great. I appreciate that, but it's different when it comes from someone who's doing exactly what you want to do,
absolutely,
who looks at you and says, I think you can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
So in 2024, Dream Big impacted nearly 7,000 elementary students.
When you say that number, wow.
So I want you guys to kind of dig into your performance chops, and kind of paint a picture of it for me. So tell me how it works, what I'm going to see and experience when you go into a school.
Okay.
You want to start?
Absolutely. So the beginning of a Dream Big always starts with our team. Shout out to our Dream Big staff and crew. We would not be able to do what we do without them. It requires us not just setting up speakers and sound equipment. We have to pretty much prep the room. So we're putting out cones. We're making sure every door is manned by one of our staff, because when kids come in, it's not necessarily a party, but we want you to enjoy the beginning all the way to the end. So we're high-fiving kids, we're giving hugs, we're giving you smiles. We have high energy music playing in the very beginning of this thing. I want you to be excited. Now, mind you,
And we're in a gymnasium.
we're in a gymnasium. And Dream Big starts usually about 8:30 in the morning. So you are fresh. We still have crust in our eyes. So we got to get you excited and jumping off of the walls before we get reared up into this thing. So we have high energy music. We have kids waving their hands, clapping their hands, and then we get into the program. The program is really geared to, no matter what your goal is, no matter what your dream is, I'm going to give you 3 simple steps to get you on that fast track to success. The first step is, I want you to know what your dream is. Now, mind you, when we go into these schools, we have the majority of the kids that raise their hands. They know what they want to be when they grow up. But you do have a small percentage that do not. So the goal is to encourage the ones that do, and also encourage the ones that do not to say, hey, let's keep growing. Let's keep learning as much as we can, because education is important. And then eventually that dream will come to you. It'll eventually be either something you're very good at or something you're really excited to do or to pursue. Hobbies a lot of times turn into careers. I'm living proof of that. So we always start with what is your dream and the importance of knowing what your dream is. The second thing is to study, to educate yourself. I mentioned Miss Betty Atkins earlier, my first mentor, first music teacher. She showed me the importance of music composition, music theory. Now, mind you, I'm in elementary school learning these things because I told her the first time I met her that I wanted to be like Michael Jackson. I told her I wanted to be that man. And she said, son, what
I'm going to interrupt one sec. Tell people your age 3 Michael Jackson story.
Oh, snap. Okay, age 3. I am in the living room. It's a 2-bedroom apartment in Shreve City. My mother, oldest sister, younger brother. Now, mind you, this is a Saturday morning. I am 3 years old. I don't know what it is about Saturday morning and turning on cartoons. They feel better. They look better. They sound better on Saturday mornings. So, Saturday morning cartoons, big bowl of cereal. We were in the living room enjoying Looney Tunes as a family. I remember it was Wile E. Coyote, and he was chasing Roadrunner. I'll never forget it because he was losing every time. And I used to love that because I used to love to run outside. All of a sudden, the TV show cut off, and it switched over to the Motown 25th year anniversary. Now, mind you, I'm 3 years old, never heard of Motown, never heard of Michael Jackson, never heard of any of these people that are about to grace this stage. So I'm sitting here bored and really upset because I wanted to watch cartoons. Sure. So all these acts start coming on stage. Then, all of a sudden, a group of brothers got on stage, had a lot of glitter in their clothing. They did some songs. It was pretty cool, but I wasn't interested. It wasn't until one brother put his hand in his pocket, issued his brothers off of stage, and started speaking to the crowd and said, yeah, I like those songs, but I really love the new songs. And it was the very first time I got to hear Billie Jean for the first time. Now, mind you, it was the very first time he had performed Billie Jean live in front of an audience. Now, mind you, it was an audience of his peers. These weren't fans. They were fans that were peers in the industry. I never forget looking at that crowd while I was watching on a tube television and seeing the audience stand up, smiles on their faces, clapping their hands. I got to see this very thin, energetic man do moves I had never seen before, sing in a range I had never heard before, and do the iconic moonwalk for the very first time. It changed my life forever. I turned around and looked at my mom and I said, Mom, I want to be that guy. I want to do that. And I'll never forget her words. My mom said, baby, if you want to do that, you have to start doing it now. You have to start learning how to do it now. So at 3 years old with tube socks on, I got up, carpet on the floor, started learning how to do the moonwalk. And it was tough. It was very tough, but I kept going. I'll tell you this. By age 5, when I got to South Highlands, I was the belle of the ball every day on the playground because everyone would ask me to do the moonwalk. I'm telling you, practice does not make perfect. Practice prepares you for the dream that you're heading into. So Michael Jackson changed my life forever. I wanted to be someone that puts smiles on faces, that can get people in a room and we can forget about all of our cares, forget about what the world is telling us we can and cannot do. Let's get together and have a great time, and let's leave better than we came.
Love it. All right, so take me back. So you gave me step 1. We were in step 2 when I interrupted you.
No, you're fine.
A curveball.
You're fine. Step 2 is to study. Miss Betty Atkins, my first music teacher at South Highlands, she poured into me. She taught me how to write a song, music composition, how to create the musical arrangement of a song. Taught me about music theory. She introduced me to guys I'd never heard of before, like Beethoven, Bach, and Mozart, who are some of my favorite composers to this day. Now, mind you, these are guys that lived centuries ago, and people are still practicing, performing, and perfecting their songs today. So that's a lasting impact. So I knew music had a lasting impact on society. I learned that at 5 years old. So in her teachings, I was a very energetic kid. Very energetic, could not sit still, but I was a very shy kid. So those two really don't mix when you're trying to be Michael Jackson. But she taught me the importance of being able to go into a classroom, being able to sit as still as I can, so I'm not disrupting the class or disrupting my teacher. And if I ever had a question of something I did not understand that my teacher was teaching, I would have to raise my hand. She told me I had to do this. Now, I was terrified of doing it, but I had to build up the confidence slowly but surely. The hand never shot up, but it would slowly creep up, and I would ask my question and hopefully get the information that I needed. And it really helped me in my academics, but it also helped me in my confidence on stage, because I love to sing, but the confidence had to grow. So I really thank Miss Betty Atkins. She's passed away already, but I thank her so much for all of the time that she poured into me and the value she placed on me of educating myself on that knowledge truly is power. The more you know, the more you can apply, the more you can help others.
And step 3.
Step 3 is how we bring this whole soup together. We're from Louisiana, so we know how important gumbo is. Every little ingredient matters. But when you put that gumbo on that slow simmer, that's when everything starts getting mixed together. So step 3 is the mixing of everything. It is to do the work and believe in yourself. Belief in yourself goes a very, very long way. That self-confidence, we don't want you to be arrogant, but we want you to have confidence in yourself and what you're doing and what you're walking into. And doing the work. No one will be able to do it for you. As much as mommy and daddy and grandparents and aunties and uncles love you, as much as your best friend cares about you, your best friend cannot drink water for you. You're going to have to do that yourself. So we apply that to our dream, to our goals, to our careers. You have to put in the work, put in the time to study, to educate yourself, apply what you've learned. And most importantly, you have to believe in what you are doing and believe it is going to make a difference, not just in your life, but in the lives around you. So that is what we teach in schools. That's where we're geared towards elementary schools right now. Eventually, as things continue to grow and expand, who knows? We might be in middle school, might be in high school, might even be doing college seminars. Who knows?
And you also fuse music in with the program.
Absolutely. I did not even mention that. Guys, I'm a singer-songwriter. I like to do music, so everything that we do in this program is going to be turning you right back to what I do, because I have to show you in real time that if you apply these 3 steps, these are the results you get. Now, mind you, mine's in music. So me applying these 3 steps, this is the quality that you're going to get. This is what I'm going to present in front of you. So we try to live out our steps. We try to live out the Dream Big motto.
Love it. All right, and last thing before I get to my next question, true or false, the sky's the limit?
False. The sky is not the limit. You can actually reach beyond the sky. You can reach beyond the stars. The only limitations you can ever have in life are the limitations you put on yourself.
That's right.
So, false.
All right, Vernae, I'm going to get back to you, but this next question is for Lance.
It's okay.
So, Lance, we've talked a little bit about this. You're a contemporary R&B singer,
Yes.
songwriter, and producer who's amassed over 1 million video plays over various social media platforms.
Grateful.
And you believe in showing your gifts and talents to the community where you grew up.
Absolutely, 100%.
So there are 2 questions in this next question. The first is, why do you think this is important? Why do you think this is so important, showing your gifts and talents to the community where you grew up? And then secondly, what do you attribute your success to compared with some of your peers that you grew up with?
Okay, that's good.
You can take it in any order.
Absolutely.
And I can repeat too, because I know I threw a lot at you.
No, you're good. I'm gonna take the first one. First one was, why is it so important to show it to my community, show it to the area? I believe it's truly important because how dishonest would it be for me to be able to travel around the country, to be able to receive awards, eventually, by the grace of God, be able to do world tours, and not let people know that I am a proud product of my environment, I'm a proud product of the upbringing I've had in Shreveport, Louisiana. I am truly a believer, and this is something that my peers in the city we talk about all the time. We believe if you grow up in Shreveport, Louisiana, no matter what field you're going into, you'll be successful. Because this city does not hold back with wanting to educate you and wanting to strengthen you. But one thing that's truly dear to me about this city is we don't pull punches. We'll let you know if it's good, if it has value, or if it's not good and you need to go back to the drawing board and work again. You and I were talking earlier about film and how important film and that industry is so unique. And it's a grind. It's a hard punching industry. But you, as well as I am, are a product of Shreveport, Louisiana, and we can sit here and say, hey, it might not be the success that the world deems as success, but we're successful individuals. But we're a product of this city. So I believe going out into the world, showcasing my talent for the world, and the world saying, hey, we approve of it, I need to come back home, and I need to show home that, hey, I've done it, and the world approves of it. So whatever you put your mind to and whatever you put your heart into fully, you can accomplish it from Shreveport, Louisiana, and you can accomplish it and stand on platforms and win awards and tell people you are a proud citizen, a proud product of Shreveport, Louisiana. So that's why that's really important to me. The second question, now I'm going back. Help me out.
So it was, what do you attribute your success to compared with some of your peers that you grew up with?
Absolutely. Okay. Number one, I have to contribute all of my success to the Lord. I'm just going to be 100% transparent to you. Not that I'm a church boy, but my relationship with Jesus means everything to me. Without him in my life, I would not be able to produce, would not be able to create, would not be able to write the songs that I do. Because my heart posture, the first time I saw Michael Jackson, was always to put smiles on people's faces and make people feel like they mattered. My relationship with Jesus makes me feel important and makes me feel like I matter because I know I matter to him. So if I matter to him and he tells me, hey, I need you to love people like I love you, that matters. That goes a long way for me. So I have to put that in music. I have to stand on that. That's my firm foundation. The second thing is I have to give credit to my mother. My mother was a very, very strong woman in the faith. And my mother passed away when I was 16 years old. And one thing I noticed was we ended up having 2 funerals for my mother. We had one in Shreveport, Louisiana, and we had one in Ruston, Louisiana, where she's from. And every church, well, both churches that we had the funeral service at was packed from wall to wall. And I did not understand it because I didn't realize my mother knew that many people. But everyone that came up to me at 16 years old would tell me stories of how my mother would help them, of how she would encourage them. My mother was an elementary school teacher in Caddo Parish for 25, probably 30 years. And the words of encouragement that came to me at 16 years old about how my mother lived her life. Now, mind you, she was a woman of faith. She loved Jesus. But I got to see Jesus walked out through my mother. So I have to give credit for who I am as a person to the Lord and to my mom, because my mom had a posture and an attitude of service. She was here to serve. She was not here to be recognized or acknowledged, but she was here to serve humanity. So I take that stance. And the third, I have to give to Miss Betty Atkins. Miss Betty Atkins took me under her wing at a very young age. Not just taught me things about music, but taught me things about life. Taught me how to love people through music, how to love people through hard times. When my mother passed away, Miss Betty Atkins brought the choir, the Red River Children's Choir that I was a part of, that I got to travel around this nation with, brought them to the funeral service and sang a song called Bist du bei mir. It's a song that was written in German by Johann Sebastian Bach. And it was a song about him grieving the loss of his wife. And I remember hearing that song on that platform and tears just fell down my face because I understood the words. I knew the words. I knew the translation. But it was such a beautiful moment for me that I'll never forget, because that was such a powerful display of love that Miss Betty Atkins had for me. She didn't ask for money, but she brought my entire choir, and there was not a dry eye in that church that day, because you could feel not just the presence of God, but you could feel the love someone had for someone that had passed away, and they wanted to spread that love to everyone in that building. So it's Jesus, my mother, Miss Brenda Wesley, and Miss Betty Atkins, 100%.
Love it.
You got me crying over here.
I saw that. All right, Vernae, I'm going to turn to you. But Lance, you can interject too. So my next two questions are just kind of zooming out a little bit from both of you to our community at large. So the question, Vernae, is just as you look out at our community, what are some of the things that concern you the most, or what are some of the things that keep you up at night?
That's a good question.
Man, that is a good question. I think the lack of direction in a lot of youth, I'm noticing, it's, to be honest, it's disturbing. I mean, I was telling Lance, I said, man, just walking to Walmart or walking to a store, you know how like you can see people that are focused and have a focus in life in the way that they walk. Their walk is very determined. And then you see someone that doesn't have guidance, doesn't know where they're going, and their walk is just lazy and just, you know, and it's just that simple, just observing. But in our community, that's one of the things that I'm noticing, and that's why we wanted to do Dream Big, because we're wanting to instill in young kids, hey, you have a dream, these are the steps to go toward it, because we're finding that a lot of people, adults, young adults, children, don't know where they're going. And if you don't have a direction, you don't have a future. And so that's concerning. And that's why what we're trying to do is to really impact, you know, the community in that way.
I love that image. Yeah, I've never thought about that, like just watching people walk. But yeah, certain people maybe just meander and don't walk with a purpose of any kind, because they don't know what their purpose is. Mm-hmm. Y'all talk a little bit, because I've heard you talk about this in other interviews. Talk a little bit about how Dream Big is primarily for elementary age students, but how you've seen it kind of filter into the home or affect the adults as well.
Absolutely. Want me to address it?
Yeah, I can jump in.
Absolutely. One of the telltale stories that we have that shows that the program is not just affecting the kids that we see, but it's affecting their entire household. We've had the privilege and honor to partner with a group called Shreveport Citizens United, and or SCU to a lot of people. And what they do is they go into pretty much every neighborhood in Shreveport to basically build up, edify, and encourage the community, and to bring resources through a multitude of nonprofits that we have in the city. And shout out to all of the nonprofits that are taking out the time to participate in this, because it's amazing. If you ever get a chance, if they're ever in your neighborhood or in your community, please come out to an SCU rally. It's fantastic. It is for the community. It is for the, not just empowerment, but the building up of our city. So yes,
and they have a website, I think SCU does. So if you're listening to this and curious about SCU and maybe future events, I encourage you to go visit their website, see what they're all about, and see when the next event may be coming near you.
100%. So Dream Big has had the privilege of being at every SCU rally except for one. But every time we go, we'll run into kids that we've actually attended their elementary school. So they'll run up and they'll give us hugs and they'll talk to us. But the cool thing is we'll have grandparents, we'll have moms come up to us and say, hey, they've talked about you at home. Hey, they've gone and listened to your music, Lance. Hey, when we get in the car, they're requesting your songs in the car. So it's not necessarily all about the music, because the music does help sell the point or drive the point home. The beautiful thing is you're being discussed at home with your parents. I don't know how many kids at that age even have the time or the conversations with their parents. How many parents, single parents, do we have to where you have to work 2 or 3 jobs? I'm product of one of them. My mom had to work 3 jobs at one point. So we really didn't have a lot of conversations, but the conversations we did have, I remember them. They mean a lot. So for Dream Big to be brought up in conversation at home, it means a lot to us because it lets me know that to this young person, this young world changer, as we call them, it matters to them.
And it's really cool too, because like even at the rallies, we'll have I remember one little girl. She was so cute. She came up to me and she was like, "Hey," and she was like, "I want you to meet my grandmother," and she brought me over there to meet her, and it was just amazing. They felt so proud that they saw us and they wanted us to be involved with their family. I was just blown away.
And you've connected with them.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
100%.
one of the most, what I've gleaned is one of the most important things that you focus on when you go into these schools is connecting with these kids.
100%. Because we want them to know that we're not just here flaunting and telling you all the things that we've done and all the success. We're here to show you and look you in the eye and say you matter. But I want you to believe that you really do matter, because we've looked in the eyes of some children who will tell them, hey, you're smart, you're intelligent, hey, you're a beautiful young lady. And you'll get a glass stare, which means somewhere in life, in your young life, someone has told you that's not true for you. So
And what do you do in that? What do you do in that instance?
we're intentionally reprogramming children 100%, because I don't want you to believe the lies of the enemy. That's a lie. You have purpose. You are here by design, divine design, to be an impact in this world. Be a positive impact. Yes, absolutely. Because just because one person or a group of people say that you don't matter, that doesn't make it true. I can stand in front of you who's gone through the trenches and tell you matter.
And if you look at someone who you feel is traumatized, or feel that they believe they don't matter, what do you say to them? What do you push them, or what do you do to let them know, I can tell that you've never heard this before, and I'm gonna try and steer you in a different direction. I'm gonna try and put you on a different path.
Absolutely. What we do is if we find a child or a group of children at a school that feel that way, we try to spend as much time as we can while we're at the school with them. When we do Dream Bigs at any elementary school, that day is allocated for that school. So we do our program, but if the school wants us to, hey, we'd like you to go to the lunchroom and sit with the kids and talk with them. Hey, we'd like for you to go to recess with them and sit and go play with them. We'd like you to go to each class and just have 5 or 10 minutes to spend with the class, talking in front of them. We do that. Dream Big is all about building up, edifying, and encouraging these young people to know that, hey, you matter, you're important, and any dream that you have is achievable.
In every school, so we go to private schools, we go like Evangel, St. Joseph Catholic School, and I just hit the mic, sorry. And public school. So we believe every child, even if it's, just any school, any elementary school we go to.
Because your financial situation at home does not add value or diminish the value on your life. We've talked to kids that come from great households that needed to hear that someone believes in them. We've talked to kids that did not have anybody at home most of the time that still needed to hear the same message, that you matter and we believe in you and you should believe in yourself. So it's to impact every child, no matter what the spectrum is, because we don't put you on a spectrum. We put you on the fact that you're a one of one, you have purpose, and we believe in you. We want you to believe in yourselves.
Talk a little bit about that, because I've heard you say it a lot, and I know that's one of your mottos, or
absolutely
one of one. So talk to me a little bit about one of one.
I truly believe in this. I actually took this from my artistry. Every time I get on a platform to sing, I want you to be in a room hearing me perform and feeling like I'm singing directly to you, because you are a one of one. You've spent the time, you spent your finances to come see me perform. I want you to enjoy this concert, all 50,000 of you. So when we get into a school where you have between 100 to sometimes you have close to 800 kids. I want you to know you are one of one. There will never be another person like you ever in life again. There's never been one before you. So right now in this moment, I need you to capitalize on the fact that you will be somebody because you can be somebody because you're supposed to be somebody.
Uniquely made, and you don't have to compare yourself to other people.
Absolutely not, because that will crush you.
Never be like you.
And that will destroy you. We're not here to destroy egos. Somewhat. But okay, I'll say it like this. We're here to destroy egos and build confidence. That's probably the best way I can put it. Destroy your ego. Let's build this confidence, and let's go build a bigger and brighter world. Let's do that.
Love it. All right. So kind of in line with the previous question, this for either of you or both of you, just lastly, what gives both of you hope that we're headed in the right direction as a community? As you look around at Shreveport-Bossier and all the work that you're doing from inside the trenches and just all the great stuff you've done, what gives you hope at the end of the day that you're seeing progress or that this is moving forward?
When I say that is a great question. You want to tackle first? That's a great question.
Oh Lord, that's like number one.
Amen.
That's the hope. I mean, if I didn't have Jesus in my life, I would not have. I wouldn't know where I would be. And so having that foundation has allowed me to be able to go toward my destiny, which is acting, producing, my being a published author,
directing,
yeah, serving, helping. It's just, it feels good to know exactly where you're supposed to be. It really, really does, and I have to give credit to the Lord and my husband and my family. Yeah.
Absolutely. For me, it's going to be the same thing. My hope is in Jesus. And when I read my word, you have a Savior that came down in human form because he cared about people. He died, rose again, and is an advocate for you with the Father because he cares about people. And he tells me to do the same. So when I look at Shreveport and we get the honor and privilege to go into public and private schools, we get to see the community through young eyes. This is the next generation. These will be the ones that will be the adults in Shreveport, the lawyers, the doctors, the musicians. That's who they'll be. Why would I not want to give them all the wisdom I have to provide? Why would I not want to give them a leg up? Because someone had to do it for me. My mom, Miss Betty Atkins, gave me a leg up. It's my responsibility now. We had a conversation before the podcast started about how time, as you get older, you start to realize how precious time is. Well, we're looking at young babies who don't realize how precious, even now in elementary school, how precious their time is. How cool would it be to say, hey, my hope for the future is you. My hope for the city is you. How cool is it to be able to partner with businessmen and women in the city through SCU that say, hey, my hope for the city is the community, it's the people. Once we get back to caring about the people, pouring into the people, and being a people, Shreveport, which is a beautiful city already, can be brighter, can have the sounds of love flow through every neighborhood, every crevice, every corner of this city. And then you start to see a city united. When you have a Shreveport that is united on all fronts, then you have a true city on a hill that shines bright. You have a true beacon of hope. That's my hope. So yeah.
Love it. Well, Vernae and Lance, I so appreciate all you're doing. I appreciate you making the time to be here. Those were my set questions, but like I told you before we started, if there's anything else that's important to you or that you want to mention or share, by all means, we have all the time.
Absolutely. Do you want to plug the website in, huh?
Oh, yes. So definitely, we actually are projected this coming year to reach over 13,000 students. So we're growing.
Incredible.
And so we definitely need
13,000 elementary students.
Yes.
Elementary school
yes,
kids, yes,
elementary
yes.
students. Yeah. So we're definitely needing that support. So if you would love to support through corporate sponsorship or partnership or even a donation, you can go to our website, which is dreambigii.com. We would really appreciate it. And of course, the way that you can follow us, well, you can follow me at Vernae Ewing Thompson on IG and at Vernae Ewing Thompson on Facebook, and then Lance.
Yes, you can follow me you can go watch the music videos on YouTube. I have to plug that in. At Lance Thompson Music on YouTube. You can follow me on social media with Instagram, Twitter, and even with TikTok at Mr. Lance Thompson, Mr. Lance Thompson. And again, just to reiterate what my wife said, going to dreambigii.com and giving a donation, it definitely means a lot to us. It means a lot to the team, but it really means a lot to these kids. We don't just go into a school empty-handed. We bring a lot of gifts to these schools because we really want to be able to give back to these children, give them a leg up. And we've actually introduced last year where the kids, we have a mailbox called the Dream Big Mailbox, and kids get the opportunity for an entire week to write a letter, put it in the mailbox so we can receive it. Shreveport and all surrounding areas, we have received well over 1,000 letters.
Amazing.
From these young people. And when you get to listen to the heart of a young person tell you how much they appreciate your program, how much they love it, and then they get to tell you some of the struggles they have. They get to tell you what their dreams are and how hard it's going to be to accomplish their dreams. It makes you want to really, for me, give every dime that I own to say, hey, I might not know how to do that, or it might be a difficult road, but let me point you in the right direction. Let me get you studying the correct things. Let me get you some mentors that actually work in that area. Those things cost. Those things take finances. We're willing to take time that no one gets back to pour into these young people. We're willing to give finances that we don't get to keep to pour into these young people. So we're asking for a better, brighter tomorrow, for a better, brighter Shreveport, to please donate, to please give, because your money, it's not being used in vain. It's not being used to live a lavish lifestyle. It's being used to build a better Shreveport today. And thank y'all so much for your time, for allowing us to be on this platform.
Of course. And Lance, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Come on.
Maybe give the audience, just because I said we hadn't had anyone do this up until now, maybe give them, like a bar, or just give them a phrase or two just to hear your beautiful voice and share in the incredible talent that
Absolutely. This song is called Yes, No, Maybe So. This is our first music video that hit over 1 million views on Lance Thompson Music on YouTube. And it's just been a fun song. It's a song I wrote about the first time I met my wife. Not first time I met my wife, the first time I knew I was supposed to propose to her. So I was nervous. So
hold on one second. Ellen, can we do this sound-wise? Can we capture this? Okay, we're good. Okay.
I'm not dead, I'm alive, and I'm crazy about you in the way that you make me feel so good, and I'm hoping that maybe you feel the same way too. Is that too loud?
That's perfect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, song I wrote about my wife, about proposing, and it was pretty elementary. Do you like me? Will you marry me? Yes, no, maybe so. So, this is the chorus of Yes, No, Maybe So. Oh, I'm not dead, I'm alive, and I'm crazy about you in the way that you make me feel so good, and I'm hoping that maybe you feel the same way too.
Love it. Thank y'all so much for being here, and thank you for sharing all your passion and all your talent with us. And Shreveport-Bossier, so lucky to have you, and keep making us dream big. We appreciate you.